I'm Andrea. Standing in the shadows of the pantry, I watched as the cops led my father away in handcuffs. His face was ashen, and his eyes were filled with a mix of shock and hatred. The wedding that was supposed to be a grand celebration had turned into a nightmare, all thanks to my carefully laid plans. 6 months ago, my sister Lily got engaged to Ethan, the son of a wealthy tech mogul, Mr. Thompson. My father, Victor, saw this as an opportunity to get out of his financial troubles. He was a failed entrepreneur with a gambling addiction, always looking for the next big score. He told Mr. Thompson that Lily was the mastermind behind my hotel, the Enigma, a luxurious boutique hotel in the heart of the city that I had designed and built from the ground up. Mr. Thompson was so impressed by Lily's supposed portfolio that he wrote my father a check for $250,000 as seed money for her next project. In reality, that money went straight into my father's gambling debts and to fund a wedding they couldn't afford. To make this con work, I had to be sidelined. They couldn't have the Real architect walking around answering questions. So, they gave me an ultimatum: sign a non-disclosure agreement and play the role of the head of housekeeping for the night, or they destroy my reputation. My father even threatened to sue me for a loan he co-signed years ago, claiming I defrauded him. It was a bluff, but I didn't want to deal with the hassle, so I signed the NDA. But I also made him sign a contract of my own. Earlier that day, my mother, Sylvia, came to the staff locker room to inspect me. She was a cold and calculating woman, always more concerned with appearances than with me. She picked up a lint roller and roughly ran it over my cheap uniform. "There," she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "You finally look like you belong, Andrea. Don't speak to Mr. Thompson tonight. Don't look at Ethan. You're the help. Don't ruin your sister's big win with your jealousy." I looked at her, and for a moment, I felt that old pain of never being good enough. But then I saw Lily in the mirror, practicing her speech about the hotel's design. That's when I realized she didn't just want my hotel. She wanted my identity. She needed to strip me of who I was so she could take my place. My mother thought she was putting me in my place, but she didn't know that by pushing me into the shadows, she had given me the perfect vantage point. I wasn't jealous. I was patient. 1 minute before my father's grand entrance, he sent me a text: "You are not welcome in the ballroom. Stay in the kitchen or we pull the funding." I looked down at the scratchy maid's uniform he forced me to wear. Instead of crying, I looked at the security camera and smiled. I pressed my earpiece and said, "Execute Protocol 9. Instantly, the magnetic locks on the ballroom doors slammed shut and the lights went out. 2 minutes later, my father stormed into the pantry, his face red with rage. My mother was right behind him, clutching her pearls. "What did you do?" he spat. "The doors won't open. The lights are out and Mr. Thompson is standing in the dark. Fix it." I calmly told him that the system had initiated a lockdown. He didn't care. He shouted at me, shaking me and threatening to destroy my career if I didn't open the doors in 60 seconds. I pulled my arm free and said, "Actually, we need to talk about the bill." I took out a tablet and showed him the outstanding balance of $85,000 according to the venue rental agreement. He laughed and said he'd handle it next week, but I knew he couldn't. I told him I knew about his financial troubles and that the only reason he was throwing this wedding was to get another check for Mr. Thompson. He tried to lie and say he didn't have the corporate card, but I knew it was in his left jacket pocket. I laid out the consequences. If he didn't pay, the doors would stay locked, Mr. Thompson would start asking questions, and he'd lose the funding and likely end up in prison. He finally gave in and swiped the card, a card from a shell company he set up to launder Mr. Thompson's investment. As the payment went through, I sent a digital receipt to the board of directors, which included Mr. Thompson. After the payment, the doors unlocked. My father quickly regained his composure and went out to greet the guests, claiming it was just a technical glitch. The wedding continued, and Lily took the stage. She started her speech, claiming to be the designer of the Enigma. I walked over to a biometric override scanner I installed years ago. I pressed my palm to the glass, and when the match was confirmed, I triggered a command. The music stopped, the lights snapped on, and her fake slides were replaced by blueprints with my name, the property deed, and my father's emails dismissing the project. The guests were shocked, and my father charged at me, but Mr. Thompson stopped him. Mr. Thompson showed my father the $85,000 charge on his phone and said it was embezzlement. He called the police, and soon my father was arrested. Lily sobbed. Ethan removed the watch she bought him, and my mother glared at me. I went upstairs to my office, deleted Lily and my parents from my phone, and purged the biometric database of their access. I didn't lose a family. I lost a liability.